What's going on, guys? We have some news to talk about in the world of the OnePlus Open. After this device came out, I think most of us felt like OnePlus maybe wasn't delivering software support, software updates as well as they should have been for a device of this caliber. We'd actually gone a couple of months without anything actually being delivered as they were working on Android 14. But since Android 14 was released, it seems as though OnePlus has sort of turned a new page, and they are now delivering updates pretty darn regularly, and in fact, they have new features in them as well. Today, we're talking about Oxygen OS 14.0.0.702. This update has began rolling out for the OnePlus Open in some regions. If you're in North America or Europe, don't be alarmed. You're probably not going to see it just yet. People in India or with Indian devices are already getting it. We're going to go over all those new features. I'm going to show you what's new in this update. So the first item on the changelog is a relatively small one, but I think it's a pretty nice little change. In our quick settings, you now have the ability to change your volume very quickly. I think that this fits in really well, and I think it adds almost a little bit of symmetry, right? We have 2, 1, and then 2 over here. Let's go into phone mode, and I'll show you what it looks like on this screen as well. Very, very similar. Some things kind of get adjusted around, but yeah, having your volume right there, I think is going to be pretty useful. Item number 2, if we go to home screen and lock screen and clock style, we now have an option for a horizontal clock on that lock screen. Let's see if we can trigger that here without Face Unlock doing its thing. That's what that looks like there. I think that looks really nice when you're talking about a wide device like that. We'll go back to the original one again. I'm going to lean back so that that doesn't grab me. I personally think that the center version looks really nice, and that's what I'm going to switch to. Right in this same area, Show Media Player on lock screen is apparently new. The way that they have it labeled is you can now choose not to show the track when drawing the lock screen pattern to unlock your device. So again, we'll look at that really quickly. You'll see I have media that was playing there, but it's no longer showing up. Personally, I don't really care one way or the other because typically I don't really see my lock screen. I think most of us don't see our lock screen, but nice to have the customization there. Anyways, the next couple are actually with regard to your little floating windows, or mini windows as they call them. So we'll just grab Threads, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe up and release it into a floating window. And apparently there's some new things that you can do. You can swipe up to close a mini window. Do they mean if it's small? Is that new? I don't actually know if that's new or not. That might be what we're talking about. The second one is that you can now adjust the size of the window by dragging the bottom. I think before you could only do the corner, so maybe that's the change there. They do specifically mention the bottom. Obviously, when you're larger, swiping is just going to allow you to scroll. So maybe if it's in mini mode, maybe that's a new action. I did not check that. Drop a comment down below. Try that and see if you can toss it away. Confirm in those comments if that is new. And then the last new feature is found in the camera application. If you look down here to the far left, there is a master mode. And this is basically a new mode that features Hasselblad color tuning to enhance your photos with more natural and vibrant colors. But I think that the biggest part of this master mode is that you can click this button down here and you can adjust a vignetting effect, a sharpness. Basically, you can sort of pre-configure what this image is going to look like and then take the shot. So that is actually pretty cool. And as you can see here, we have access to pro controls there as well, which I really like. The manual focus thing, see how there's focus peaking? You can see what part of this matte is in focus by the focus peaking there, that orange color. I'll take a few sample pictures with this and we'll try to compare this mode to normal mode here in just a moment. And of course, this does also improve system stability, and it is the April Android security patch. So let's look at a handful of pictures that I took between normal mode and master mode. So this is normal mode. And then on master mode, I didn't touch anything. I just let it be as it was. And basically what I added was a little bit of vignetting up here in the corner. But on the next two, I played around with the settings, and this is actually cooler than I expected it to be, because rather than actually taking a picture and then editing, you can do what you want to do, see what it's going to look like, and then snap the picture. So here was the normal shot of Eevee, which I think looks fine. But here's the one where I pumped up the contrast, pumped up the saturation a little bit, and kind of got this like cool, moody picture. Here's a photo of my Pixel Fold and that lovely D-brand leather skin. But this next image, I dropped the contrast and punched up the sharpness a little bit, and I kind of got this somewhat interesting, kind of hazy looking picture as well. I probably overcooked it a little bit with dropping the contrast probably too far. Could have done some more things with it, but just really quickly, you can get an idea of what kind of photos you're going to be able to get out of this mode. Lots of control, lots of custom ability there. And again, new features, new tweaks, new changes, and hopefully some bug fixes as well coming to the OnePlus Open. Good job by OnePlus continuing to deliver updates in a way that they had not been doing before. But I do need to hit them on some other problems, right? We've talked about this before. If you want to do custom icons on your device, and maybe you want to actually edit the icons on a particular icon, typically the problem is that when you go in and you pick an icon pack and you start scrolling through them, you get so far and they just sort of stop scrolling. I'll show you this in real time. We'll get so far on these icons and it'll just stop letting you see anymore. And that is a big problem. But I also just experienced it fully system UI crashing when trying to do this like 3 times in a row. So they've definitely not fixed all the bugs. I'm glad they're adding features. I'm glad they're doing things, but there still is some work to do with this device. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.